As you recall in earlier training videos, I introduced you, albeit briefly, to formatting our charts. Well, here we're going to go over the basics a little bit and then a bit more in depth. So to format our chart, go ahead and select it. And to change the style or the colors, you can either click on the paintbrush here. There you go, style and color, or you can come up here, click on the design tab, and you get the same options, styles and colors. Click on more, go ahead and find one. And then hover over it to get the name of it, Style 14, click on it, and there you go. You want to change the colors, you can do it here, or since this is open, click on color. And as far as the colors go, the first color is for the first category, and then you can see the second one for books is red. If I hover over this, you get the preview. The books is now green. In any case, I'm going to stay with the first option. And then for the layout, if you don't like the chart title up at the top or the legend down at the bottom, or you want to find different layouts, come up here on the Design tab to the Chart Layouts group and click on Quick Layout. And you can see on the first one, when I hover over it, the preview has got it over to the right-hand side, the legend. Let's try this one, Layout 5. Ooh, that's kind of kooky. We've got the data below each of the months for the categories on the right-hand side there. I guess it could be okay. I'm going to go ahead and deselect that or click off of it so I don't select it. Now, when it comes to formatting the chart, the entire chart itself or elements within it like the chart title, the accesses, the value or the primary, or even the series here for the MP3, the books, or the inside the plot area, the legend, there are elements that are always going to be the same when it comes to formatting. And let me show you. To bring up the format options, you can double click really fast on any one of these and it brings up the task pane, or you can close out. You can right click and go down to Format Legend. Of course, you get the shortcut option up at the top. Let me go back down to Format Legend. Also brings up the task pane. And what I want you to notice is that whatever you select within the chart here, you're going to see the paint bucket, so you can go ahead and fill it in with color and also change the border of what you have selected. You'll get the effects, and then, well, you'll get proprietary options, and this is only proprietary to the legend, so legend options. If I select the chart title, we get the paint bucket and the effects, but we get the size and properties. We can go ahead and select on the value access, again, paint bucket, effects, size and properties, and then proprietary is the access options. You see what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and select one of these like the chart title, because what we learned to do in one as far as the fill and color goes, and also the effects, I mean, it's going to be the same for all the others. Go ahead and click on the paint bucket, expand the fill, and we can do a solid fill. And if we don't like the color, go ahead and change it. Do something purple. And if it's too dark, you can change the transparency of it so it's a little bit lighter. If you want a border color, you can expand it. Let's go down here, default's automatic. Let's do a solid line and change it to something that will pop like red. Let me click off, there you go. Go ahead and reselect it. We can go back to automatic. Let's go ahead and change it now to the gradient fill, which is dealing with two or more colors. You can see it goes from one color, white, down to blue. Let me go ahead and scroll down. There's white and it goes over to blue. Now you got these other gradient stops here let me go ahead and select them and remove them so you can see it goes from white to blue. If I want the colors to be different, instead of going from white to blue, I want it to go from, let's say, red to blue. With that selected, click on the paint bucket and choose red. And you can see how it goes about halfway and then it starts blending over into blue. Let me go ahead and undo that. You can also add another gradient stop in case if you want to work with more than two colors. And we can choose the middle one to be red. And so it goes from white to red and then red to blue. You can see it white. And if you want it to blend not as early from white to red, then go ahead and drag it over to the right. And you can see it doesn't cut you right off too soon, although it's got to work with three colors. So it's going to be a bit of a challenge there in any case. Let me remove that so I can focus on the direction. You can see it's from top down, white up at the top, blue at the bottom. You can change the direction and say, how about if we go blue up at the top and flip it and then white down at the bottom. You also have other options here for presets. If you like the gradients there, go ahead and choose one of those. I'm going to click off of it. Let's go ahead and scroll back up. Another option is picture or texture fill. By default, you get texture. If you don't like it, you can click on the arrow and go, ooh, look at all those different options. Hover over one to get the name of it, medium wood. I'm going to go ahead and click off of it. And we can choose a picture instead, either from our computer or online. And since it's getting close to Halloween, how about if we do ghost, hit enter. Select that one, click Insert. I couldn't have planned that better. Look at his mouth. It's opened inside the O. Don't forget also, instead of formatting just the text box, you can actually do it for the text within it by coming up here on the Home tab and going to the font group and choosing any one of these, like the color, going to red there. We also have, well, let's look at effects. By selecting it, we can add shadows. Let's see, we got presets. We can have a shadow there, and that looks great here for the ghost. Say no shadow and take a look at any glows. Let's take a look at the presets, maybe something reddish. Go ahead and collapse the glow. Got soft edges, presets, how soft you want to go, so it's so soft you don't even see an edge. 3D formatting, you get the idea. Just go ahead and expand to see the options that are available when it comes to the effects. And what you learned here, you can go ahead and select any other element within the chart and go ahead and make changes to that as well. So, you can do the effects, you can do a fill here and say solid fill, fills in the plot area. I'm not going to do that. In fact, if you want, you can even do the data series. Don't forget, go ahead and click on one to select, like for the MP3s, and then you can do, a solid fill, change the color of it, do pictures. Let me go ahead and undo that because I don't like the change there. You can even actually just select one within the data series and customize that, and we can do a solid fill and make it orange. Let me go ahead and close out of that. Take a look at our work. And let's go ahead and move on to another chart because I've already destroyed that one. And as far as the examples go, let's go ahead and deselect the paintbrush so we can close out of that window there and focus on this one. To wrap this training video up, let me go ahead and double click on the value access. Now we can go ahead and of course do a fill, line, effects, size and properties. We also have the access options here, the least of which, let me scroll down. Since we have numbers there, let me expand it and scroll down. It's in currency, but you can also do your own custom number format, and I'll just go over a simple example here. Once you choose that, come down below in the box just to the left of the Add button, delete it, and let's go ahead and type in the $sign, pound symbol, comma, pound pound, 0, comma. The $sign is for the currency, which we already had, but this is going to be my custom code. The pound symbols are digit placeholders, and I have a 0 there, which is also a digit placeholder too, but it displays insignificant zeros. If a number has fewer digits, then there are zeros in the format. So in other words, if I put a pound symbol here, not a 0, you see how it's displaying an insignificant 0? Do we really need that 0 to be displayed there? Well, I do, so I added the 0 there. So again, insignificant 0, I want it to show. Another example is that if you have the number 8.9 and you want it displayed as 8.90, you want that added 0. Well, that added 0 is insignificant. You don't need the extra 0, do you? I mean, 8.9 is the same as 8.90. You just have an extra 0. Nonetheless, if you want it to be displayed like that, then after the point, you can put pound point, then go ahead and put 0, 0. So if there are zeros after the point and you want to display those insignificant zeros because you really don't need to see them, if it's 8 point, it's still 8. It's the same as 8.00. In any case, you want to see the zeros, be sure to add the digit placeholder 0 if you want those pulled in. And the comma can be used either as a thousand separator, as we used it here, and also at the end to scale a number by multiple of thousands. And so when I go ahead and add it, you see how we have it, the 350,000. When I click add, it scales it in multiple of thousands. So when you think of 350, it's in thousands, 350,000. It just scaled it back one by 1,000. If I had it in hundreds of thousands or millions, I could put in 2 commas to scale it back, again, by multiple of thousands. So it would be a multiple of, if I had 2 commas here and I added it, of 1,000. And I don't need it because otherwise if I click add, it would zero it out. Okay, that doesn't work. Let's go ahead and delete it, click add again, and there we go. And of course, we'd probably want to add an access here, a title that says, this is representative of thousands. So people don't go, oh, it's 350 bucks. So let's go ahead and do that. Add a chart element, access title. Let's do the vertical, and let's go ahead and just start typing thousands. Hit enter. There you go. Oh, we need the S. Well, with it selected, I can either come in here and click at the end, which gets a bit difficult to type in the S. and then click off, or better yet, just select it, come up here in the formula bar and type it in, which is a lot easier for me than actually trying to get in here to get the cursor, when I'm looking sideways. If I need to correct it or add a letter, that's a bit challenging. You can still use your arrow keys, but hey, if you click off, select it, just use the formula bar to go ahead and type in what you want placed inside of that access text box. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.